It is absolutely wild, but I have read 200 books this year. These are all of the books that I have physical copies of. I'm going to go through them, tell you if I recommend them, and try to remember what the plot was. These are in no particular order. Grady Hendrix's The Witchcraft of Wayward Girls. I do remember the plot of this. It's about young girls who are sent to a pregnancy home and they get into some witchcraft. I loved this. I got to see Grady do his talk on this book and it was so, so cool. Good Girl by Aria Aber. I loved this. This is weird girl fiction for sure. It's sort of like Paradise Rot, but less pee, and it takes place in Berlin. I definitely recommend it. Freshwater by Kweke Emezi. I don't remember a ton of this except for I think the character like kind of doesn't know who she is. She's having a bit of an identity crisis. I do remember liking it. Never Whistle at Night is an anthology that I really enjoyed. There are stories in here that have Wendigo, which really freaked me out. I did a reread of Legendborn in preparation for Oathbound. This story is so good. I have a full recap video if you want to check that out. I love this. 5 stars. I'm so in love. The Bog Wife by Kay Cronister. A family lives in a bog, I think in Appalachia, and they have to take care of the bog in order to get wives. Super weird, but I enjoyed it. My sister is a serial killer and I'm cleaning up after her. I enjoyed this one as well. It is messy. Lolita. Ooh, I just remember feeling incredibly uncomfortable and I try not to think about this. On Tyranny, I recommend this. I read this right after the election and it is incredibly impactful. There are rules in here that are so, so important. Darkrise, I really enjoyed this. I liked the setting, I think, a lot. The setting really made the plot for me in this. We're in Victorian, gritty, dirty England, and we have some queerness and some Chosen One vibes. I really enjoyed it. I did do a reread of Iron Flame as I prepared for Oathbound. I liked this better the second time. So that's good. And I really did enjoy Onyx Storm. Did I say in preparation for Onyx Storm? Yes, I hope that's what I said and not Oathbound. I really liked this more the second time. So if you were not convinced about this one, try it again. Hell Followed With Us. I don't remember a ton about it, except it's a trans character and there's cult vibes. And they're like trying to turn them into an angel. I remember it being gruesome, and all of AJW's stuff is gruesome, but I really enjoy it. Bat Eater and Other Things by Cora or Kylie Lee Baker. Why did I think Cora Zhang? Oh, because that's the name of the main character. I enjoyed this. I don't love stories that take place during COVID, but I enjoyed this one. The type of horror was pretty interesting to me. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches is one that I listened to fairly recently, and I thought it was so sweet and cozy. I am such a big fan of cozy fantasy, and this definitely is that, and I am looking forward to the sequel. Mexican Gothic. This makes me afraid of mushrooms. It's basically all I'll say. Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. What do I remember about this? That everything is tuberculosis. I love John Green's writing. This was not my favorite, but I will read everything he writes. The Au Pair Affair. This was fine. I mean, it's nanny to single dad hockey romance. I love a hockey romance. I don't love single parent. I don't know. It's fine. I'm not a huge Tessa Bailey fan. I'm learning. The Employees. Whew, what to say about this? It's weird. It's gruesome. I wasn't sure if it was aliens, if it was people. It might be both. It's weird. Feybound, and I also read Cursebound. I really enjoyed this. I went into this totally blind and knew it obviously has Fey in it, but I really like the magic system and there is sapphic love in here. Oathbound. I love this book. Love this book. I love this book. I'm so thrilled that Tracy Deonn is writing these characters to mature over the course of the books. I love where this went with Cel and Nick and Bree. I am absolutely here for this story. Not That Bad by Roxane Gay. This is a series of stories or essays, I guess, about women who've been SA'd. And it is incredibly difficult to read, but it is very important subject matter. Similar to The Girls Who Went Away, this book was one that I've had for a long time, but Grady Hendrix talked about it in his tour for Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. This tells a story of women who were forced to have their kids in maternity homes and then adopt them out. I'm an adopted child myself. not through a maternity home, but had I been born 20 years earlier, that very well could have been my fate. So very interesting. 1984. I mean, this should be required reading for everyone, and I kind of feel like we're currently living in this world, which is scary. I also read A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I think this is the first Ava Reid book that I read, but I really enjoyed it. I like the whimsical gothic nature of this world. I love a good gothic mystery or gothic setting, and this absolutely has that, and I am very excited for the sequel. Another gothic option, and that is Blood on Her Tongue. I loved this. Loved this. This is so good. It's vampires, it's sapphic, it's bog, it's gothic. It's everything I love in a horror. I have been working my way through Emily Henry's books, and I have gotten through all of them now. So as part of that, I read Happy Place. I thought this was fine. I think this one is second chance romance. I want to say the main character's name is Wynn. Yep, Harriet and Wynn. I thought they were fine. They're not my favorite. A series that is my favorite, though, is the Beartown trilogy. I freaking love Frederick Bachman. This man knows how to rip out my heart, and the Winners absolutely did that. I was sobbing. Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents is around here somewhere. These are absolutely fantastic stories. I think they are so incredibly relevant, which makes them terrifying. But I loved it. The Only Good Indians is a Stephen Graham Jones book that I read this year. Really enjoyed it. It's almost like I Know What You Did Last Summer, but make it like Indian and make it more scary, in my opinion. It's definitely not a slasher, but it's like their past is coming back to haunt them. I enjoyed it so much. Listen to the audiobook if you can. Another horror that I really loved is Pinata by Leopold Gout. I actually read this one on Kindle and loved it so much I ordered a trophy because it was that good. It's genuinely terrifying. Another Joanna Van Veen, My Darling Dreadful Thing. I read this after Blood on Her Tongue, and because I love Joanna Van Veen's writing so much. Again, this is very gothic bog and very, very creepy. Victorian Psycho, I again love this. What I will say is I support women's rights and women's wrongs, and this is that. Nowhere by Alison Gunn is, I think, my favorite Appalachian horror that I've read this year or recently. The kids in here are so freaking creepy. I will always get creeped out by kids in horror, and these kids absolutely are no exception. A Spell for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I did enjoy this, but I was kind of forgettable for me. I liked A Sea of Unspoken Things better. I just don't have a physical copy of that one, but it's on its way to me. I think I ordered the Illumicrator Fairy Loot edition, but this one a little bit forgettable. Gideon the Ninth. I can't say that I remember much of any of this plot. I just remember being crazy, wild, and violent, and sapphic, and skeletons. Cemetery Boys is a recent read for me. I really enjoyed this. I liked the magic system. I did not expect it to be queer in the way that it was. I really enjoyed it. Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Kink. A little bit of light power play. I am not mad at it. That's what I'll say. The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. Religious horror, sapphic, cannibalism, bees, gothic. You literally cannot go wrong. I just did a reread of The Women in Cabin 10 in prep for The Women in Suite 11. I enjoyed this more on the second time than I did the first. I'm not a huge thriller girly all the time, but I thought this one was really solid. I read Mouse 1 and 2. These are really hard to read, but in the best way because the material is really heavy, but also really important. Sunrise on the Reaping. I mean, perfect, devastating, heart-wrenching. Suzanne Collins, I will send you my therapy bill. That's basically what I have to say. In prep for Sunrise on the Reaping, I reread Hunger Games, and all of the previous sentiments still apply. Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. This was not as good as I hoped it to be. I love A Set of Unsufferable People. Truly, I do. These might have been too unsufferable. I don't know. I wish that there was more focus on the magic, less focus on the succession of it all. I finally read Strange the Dreamer, and I need to pick up Muse of Nightmares, but this was very unique. I have not read a fantasy before or after that's like this. I really liked it. Watermoon, I mean, cozy Studio Ghibli vibes, 10 out of 10. I also started the Raven Cycle. I read The Raven Boys and The Dream Thieves so far. I really enjoy these. I don't know that I love The Dream Thieves as much as I liked The Raven Boys, but I am excited to be reading this series. I know it's like such a classic for a lot of people. I missed out on it. I was like the Hunger Games Divergent Glees kid. I wasn't a teenager when this stuff came out, I think. Or maybe I was. I truly don't know. But I'm excited to be reading these now. I read Somewhere Beyond the Sea. I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. Read or listen to the audiobook because the narrator and the way that they do Chauncey, 10 out of 10. The same narrator also narrates In the Lives of Puppets and does the same voice for one of the characters in here, which I did not like because I read that one first and Chauncey is that voice in my brain. But again, this was good. Not as, it's like the third or fourth down on my list of TJ Klunes that I like. The Spectacular Now, this is interesting. I don't typically read historical fiction anymore, but I did pick this up. I did enjoy it. It has some romantic elements that I wasn't expecting, and I thought the mystery was good. King of Ashes. What do I say about this? It's gruesome, it's violent, Southern family owned mortuary, and organized crime. Man, it's awesome. You should read it. You should read everything S.A. Cosby writes. The Lies My Teacher Told Me. This is one that I just recently finished. I don't think I recommend this. I really liked the historical facts that were in here, but I felt the book was more of just discussing the fact that schools are doing us wrong and why textbooks are sold the way that they are, which, like, I don't care. I just wanted the obscure facts, I guess. Oh, Parable of the Talents. I mentioned Parable of the Sower earlier. This is a million gazillion stars and incredibly scary. The Book of Doors. I feel mixed things about this. I think the premise has so much potential, and I thought the execution missed the mark just a little bit, but I still enjoyed it overall. Killers of a Certain Age is probably the oldest book on my physical TBR, and I finally read it, and it was fine. It was like a funny thriller. I do like that it didn't have young characters. Yeah, it was fine. Polybius. What would you do if a video game was controlling your mind and scary things started to happen? This book will tell you, and it's creepy. Okay, When the Wolf Comes Home and Nestlings by Matt Cassidy. Matt Cassidy is absolutely unmatched in his horror, and both of these were so good. I think I maybe like Nestlings a little bit more, but these are so good. Mary is right there too. It's hard to compare. Love them. Rosemary's Baby and Werewolf. Those are tropes. I did start the Halfling Saga by reading A Broken Blade, and I really enjoyed this. I went ahead and picked up the rest of the books because I liked this one so much. The Prison Healer. I also really enjoyed this. The ending had me shook. Pet Cemetery. I think this is, of the Stephen King things that I've read, this is one of the scariest, although Annie from Misery is pretty terrifying. I am an animal lover, so to do this is pretty terrible. Mistborn. I am currently reading The Well of Ascension, the second book in this series. I truly, like, before I really underestimated the hype around Brandon Sanderson. I did. I was like a hater. I was like, how can this white guy write this fantasy? And it's a little bit genius. Like, you can see I've tabbed the absolute crap out of it. I am currently doing the same. I am just like, for my mind to be blown. This blew my mind in certain ways, and I know it's just going to keep going. So, I'm strapped in. I had to read my favorite classic again, and I love this. It's Always a Million Stars. There is just nothing like pining like this book. And also banter. They have great banter. For amazing, caring, loving MMC, you need to read Promise Me Sunshine. The grief representation in this book was fantastic, and the way that Miles just takes care of Lenny, Verse is a wonderful college, like, brothers rival type of romance. I really enjoyed it. I think the second one comes out this summer. I'm looking forward to it. And they're musicians. Deep Breath is not a book that I would have read or picked up probably on my own, but was sent to me, and I'm so glad that it was. I basically read this in one sitting. It is, a woman is trying to leave her abusive relationship, and she has kids, and it's stream of consciousness, and it just was so raw and so real, and I loved it. The Unworthy. I mean, it's religious horror, it's self-mutilation, it's Augustina Bazterrica, which makes it amazing. I read my first Han Kang book, which is The Vegetarian. I really, really love this. I love a weird girl fiction. This really gives me Our Wives Under the Sea vibes, but like not water. And I loved it. It's so weird. Another super weird one, Bunny. I honestly can't believe that I like only read this year because I love a weird girl lit fic moment, and Bunny is that girl. Rouge was also one that I really adored by Mona Awad. I thought this was so weird. I loved the like culty elements to it, the obsessiveness with beauty. I think there's so much to be said about the beauty industry. On a heavier note, We Could Be Rats by Emily Austin. I love Emily Austin's writing style. I think her characters feel so real. This one's really, really heavy, but I really loved it. The Lamb by Lucy Rose. I mean, cannibals, really uncomfortable mother-daughter relationships. Yeah, sapphic love. I mean, it's perfect. The Dream Hotel by Layla Leilani. I think about this book regularly. I feel like this book is so relatable for what's going on in the world these days and all these ICE detention centers and the way that we're policing people for just simply existing. I loved it. Disappoint Me is another one that I'm not sure that I would have picked up. I did get an e-arc of this and I really enjoyed it. This is about a trans woman named Max who meets a boy and they fall in love, and they kind of just have to grapple with her being trans and what that means for them and their queerness. I loved it. Immaculate Conception. Ling Ling Wong can honestly do no wrong, in my opinion. I loved Natural Beauty as well, and I loved this. This dives into some AI questions, which is very, very interesting. My husband and I just started watching Severance, and there are some similarities there. All right, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I really enjoyed this one as well. I thought it was super cute, and I love the time travel elements to it. Love it. Great Big Beautiful Life. I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I wish that there was more focus on the relationship and less on the Daisy Jones and the Six of it all. But People We Meet on Vacation, I will die for this couple. I will die for Poppy and Alex. I love them. I hope they love me. Can we be in a throuple, please? Like, I love them. So good. I also, as I was reading through the Beartown trilogy, I read Us Against You. This one was not my favorite. Sequels oftentimes aren't in trilogies, except for Catching Fire. But I thought this set it up really nicely. I still tabbed the crap out of it, and I still cried. My friends, you'll laugh and you'll cry, and you'll laugh cry. And Frederick Bachman he's that good. I loved it. I love It's a Standalone. I love Louisa and Ted. I just thought they were so wonderful. Fragmented is one that I have never seen anybody else talk about, but I loved this. This is like a man is unhappy in his life. He's having a midlife crisis. So he gets accepted into this like secret dinner club, and they wear masks there and kind of anything goes. And as you can imagine, things go wrong. I really enjoyed it. Onyx Storm. What to say about this? It was okay. I mean, I love Xaden. I don't really love where this is going. I don't know. We'll see. All right, last stack. Okay, well, it looks like I'm only gonna get half of the stack. Shield of Sparrows. I just finished this recently and I loved it. I think this is an excellent example of enemies to lovers romantasy. Like, truly. I don't always love that it's super tropey and whatever. This hit a lot of those tropes, but it was done well. I felt real chemistry between these characters, where you don't always get that. Sometimes it feels very forced. And I'm very excited to see where this goes. I also really love the world and like the fact that they live in tree houses. I think that's pretty cool. Barrier Bones and Midnight Soil was another one that I loved. I do a good job of reading things that I like. I DNF things if I don't like them, usually. Yeah, Sapphic Vampires over time. Yeah, it's gonna hit for me. I love Daddy LaRue. So yeah, this'll work. Half a Soul and 10,000 Stitches. I liked Half a Soul more than I liked 10,000 Stitches. There is a third one in the series. It did end on quite a cliffhanger. So I'm looking forward to that. But this one was still better. The Knight and the Moth. I really enjoyed this. I love the Gargoyle character. I would have liked a little bit more tension between the two lovers, but I'm excited to see where it's going. We Live Here Now, I think, is an excellent example of like a modern day haunted house. People move into an English countryside. They're married. They're like just going about life, and they start to see some creepy things and start to feel some creepy things. And the house is affecting them. And I loved the way that this ended. It was so good. Okay, truly now this is the last stack. Okay. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I couldn't tell you really anything about it, except it's, I think, they date because the next person that they date after they date will be their soulmate, something like that. It was fine. The Assassin's Apprentice. So I started my Robin Hobb journey and I did really enjoy this. Fitz is an interesting main character. I know there's a lot of books for Fitz, so I'm excited to see where it goes. Jesus and John Wayne and how white evangelicals corrupted a faith and fractured a nation. Basically, if you're Democratic, if you're atheist or agnostic, read this, but it will make you mad. Yeah, it'll make you mad. And They Called Us Enemy by George Takei. I read this on No King's Day, and as part of a fundraiser, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot about the Japanese internment camps, which I just was a lie that my teacher told me because I never learned about it. I think this is a really important story, and it's nice graphic novel, super digestible. American Cult is one that I really enjoyed. I also read it on No King's Day. This one teaches you about different cults. So I learned about a few things that I didn't know. It was a review of some things that I did know, but I thought it was very interesting. It ends on NXIVM, but I thought maybe there was stuff in here about the cult of Maga. No, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining things, but because that's obviously who that guy reminds me of. And lastly, Carmilla. I enjoyed this. I really like a lot of material that's inspired by this, so I wanted to read the source material. That's basically why I picked this up. So that is a shit ton of books that I've read that I have physical copies of. Like I said, I've read 200 this year. Maybe I'll make a video of all the books that I haven't read physical copies of that I like listen to or have digital. That will be a lot of work, so we'll see if that comes up.